Good morning, class 10. How are you guys doing? Please don't go on my this look, okay? This is nothing to do with anything religious or any part of me. Actually, I have got a cut here, so I was not able to shave. So, just sorry, I'm never like this, but I had to medical leave and I was not well also. So, don't go on the books. Don't judge the book by its cover. It's a joke. So, anyways, God bless you all and wish you all a happy Navratri. And it's not only for the 9 days. May Goddess Durga bless you all for the coming 9,009 lakh years or whatever is there, whatever the coming years are, and bless you with all prosperity, happiness, and abundance of blessings to you and your whole family. And you enjoy a wonderful puja in this pandemic. Don't call it a pandemic puja, call it a relief from the pandemic actually. So we'll be today here on SSC again. So today SSC we are going to do a part which is so called actually in geography, rather if it's called the lifelines of national economy. What does it actually denote and how does it work and what's it all about? That we'll come to know. What are the lifelines of national economy? What do we understand by that? Transportation, communications are called lifelines, of a nation and its economy, because they are the prerequisites for a fast development. Railways, airways, waterways, newspaper, radio, cinema, television, internet, etc., 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 have been contributing to its socio-economic progress in many ways. So that's what it is called. And I guess transport, which I think is the biggest and the most important lifeline of India, because or public transport, a local train or a mode of transport is called the lifeline of India, because many people depend on it for to commute to their offices, school, colleges, for traveling long, short distances, and lot of things come in and go from this lifeline. It's called one of the part of it. Then we have the national highways, which are connecting all the cities together. National highways link extreme parts of the country. They are a primary road system and are laid and maintained by the Central Public Works Department, CPW. CPWD. Number of major national highways run in the north and south and east-west directions. These roads are maintained by the Zilla Parishad, basically. And we have the railways. Then we have the significance of the border road. What is the significance of the border road? The border roads are vital road links along the frontiers of the country. These roads are a strategic importance. They have improved accessibility in areas of difficult terrain, mainly in the northern and the northeastern borders areas. They have played a major role in the economic development of these areas. Basically, this is what it's all about. What is the lifeline of India? Like if we say the lifelines and national economy, the lifeline of India is this was once it was, or it's often described as a transporting of 23 million across the vast subcontinent each day, some about 8.4 billion passengers each year. So can you just imagine what's all this about? And that's the railways. And that is what is all about. So if we go into this, the lifelines of national economy, it's all about how the growth is going on through and how we are going through things and how we are going to take it through. So I don't know why is this thing coming up. One sec, I'll just get into it. It's all about the sources of economy. How does the economy change because of transporting? When there is a connectivity, if the proper connectivity is there, life becomes much more easier. And when life becomes much more easier on that railway, suppose a railway train is going on a particular track, people start building houses, the people start doing business out, the economy begins, population increases, but we should try to control that, right? but at the same time business is also happening, things are coming and going, the people are from outside are coming in, investing into our country, they're spending money into our country. So that's all this is all about. So lifeline of national economy, and that's what it's all about. I don't know, my net is always very bad. In India, of national economy in India, if you take it in that sense of manner, I just don't understand it sometimes. Like, am I on the same page? It's all about transport, roadways, and etc. Basic, etc. 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 I'm just going to give you a simple basic information, lifelines of national economy, and transport, communication, and trade, right? Then we have the transport, communication, and trade play an important role in a day-to-day basis life, as they link production with consumption. I hope you're trying to get me, because I'm going to just speak whatever comes into my head as far as I am able to share with you. Production itself becomes easy by transport, communication and trade as a process. It's a processing site actually, which is linked with the sites of raw material. I guess I'm right. Yes. It's a communication and trade. It's a communication and trade processing. Yes. It's a communication and trade processing site which is interlinked with the sites of raw material. Without that, it cannot develop. So developed transport, communication, and trade helps goods and services being distributed in the local, national, and international markets. Right? So they not only ensure movement of people, materials, and communication, but also movement of ideas and skill from one region to another, basically. So the development of efficient transport and communication network reflects the development of economy and the country as a whole. These means are called lifelines of a nation's economy. It's a very pragmatic thing, pragmatism. So the guy who is in charge of this country should have a pragmatic view of leading it. Then only this thing is going to work, and it's going to be a blast. It's going to explode as a volcano, and people will go, oh, okay, what this country is doing. Pragmatism has to be there. You have to have a pragmatic leader to do this. In the modern world, no country can prosper without the cooperation and help of other countries. In the modern world, which I think so far, without anybody's help or sharing ideas, when we talk about that movement of ideas and the skill from one region to another. So the development of efficient transport and communication, depends upon the network reflex of the development of an economy. So these means, as I said, is called the lifelines of a nation's economy. Now, in the modern world, as no country can prosper, as I said, without the cooperation and the help of other countries. We take ideas, we take help, like our fighter jets come from France and all that, Rafale jets and all that. For this movement of goods and material is essential among the countries. For this movement of goods and material is essential among the countries. Movement of goods and material among the countries is termed as what? It's termed as trade. Trade, class 10. Come on, I don't have to give you the spelling for it. I was just joking. So trade provides with our necessities, and also it adds to our amenities and comforts. Right? You won't go out in this sun, and you're going to go and buy a Levi's for your pujas, right? If you want to buy a pair of Levi's jeans, I'm talking about the girls. Like, they have this top class fashion. They have these code of jeans, which are wonderful pair of jeans which have come in this time. And Levi's does a great work for girls, for women actually. And you don't want to go out in this heat, and on the same place, Amazon is giving you a 60% discount on that same brand. If you know the code of your jeans, if you know your size, you know your fit, you're going to go for that 60%. That's 600 rupees, that's 60 rupees off on 100 rupees. If a jean costs about 3,000 bucks of a Levi's, you go how much? 600 rupees goes off there. Am I right? That's 60%. So 100 rupees, so 1000 rupees you get 600 rupees off, 60%. So 3000 you get, 1800 rupees off on 3000. So that's more than 50%. So what will you do? So that's the example I'm giving you. Movement of goods and materials among the countries is termed as trade. Trade provides with our necessities and also adds to our amenities and comfort. This is the comfort which we are getting sitting at home, ordering it and not going out in the sun. Again I have to buy a suntan. That's going to cost me money. Suntan also I'm going to go ahead and buy it online. Now this is what's the development which has happened. Transport, communication, see, this is a line of the lifelines. These guys who deliver food, these guys who deliver your goods, these are also a lifetime. It's a type of transport again is involved in it. So transport, communication and trade are essentially for an economic integration. If these three things don't match together, the work is not done. Social interaction and defense of the country as well as other countries. I'll put it in one line. Transport, communication and trade are essential for economic integration, social interaction and defense of the country as well as other countries. Now I put it into an English sentence with one comma. Okay, so I'll repeat that again. Transport, communication and trade are essential for economic integration, social interaction and defense of the country as well as other countries. You got it? What I'm trying to explain, isn't it? So I'll come back in the next video. If you don't